Right then, I've been looking at these puzzles now, and I think I've sorted them both out. So start with the coins one. I think this is the more difficult of the two puzzles, and it's difficult because it's really difficult to know how to get started on this. So the first thing I did was I wrote down all the different coins that he might have: a 1, a 2, a 5, a 10, a 20, and a 50. Now remember, you can have more than one of the same coin, and you know, it's very difficult to have any idea to start with as to which ones they might be. We've got some clues: 13 different amounts of money. My first thoughts on that were, well, there must be some coins that are the same, because if you just had one of each of these, well, 5 of the 6 here, then there's going to be so many different amounts of money that you could make. So there must be some repeats in the coins that he's got. This was an interesting one. The amounts of money you can make end with one of two possible digits. So I'm thinking, lots of zeros here. So, you know, if he's got a 10, a 20, or a 50, then it's got to end in one of those digits. Has got to be a 0. And then the other digit could be a 5, or it could be a 2, or it could be a 1. So it's got to probably going to be a 0 and a 5, a 0 and a 2, or a 0 and a 1. Okay, the digits that it ends in. Okay, then you cannot make exactly 70 pence. I couldn't really do much with that one to start with. Couldn't afford an item costing £1. Suggest he's got the smaller sort of amounts of money. He can't have a couple of 50s, because that would be mean he could go over. So you can have at most 150. But this is the killer one here. He can make a prime number bigger than 10 with his coins. That, to me, is the key clue. And that sort of unlocks the whole puzzle. Because I read that and I thought, well, let's write out the prime numbers that are bigger than 10. And we've got 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, etc., etc., etc. And I started looking at these numbers and thinking, which is the most likely one that he's going to be able to make from them with these coins? And I kept seeing this one, the 11. I'm thinking, right, let's work on the principle that he can make 11. Okay, and that is the prime number that we're looking for. It's a bit of a guess at this point. But if that was the prime number that he can make, then I already know that 2 of his coins are a 1 and a 10. All right, he must have a 1 and a 10. Okay, and then from there, I thought, well, I've no idea what the other coins are at the moment. It can't have a 5, so let's just make them all 10s to start with. So let's suppose that those are the 5 coins. And I thought, well, let's see if they fit the other facts. So I wrote out all the different amounts you could make with those coins. And it would be 1, 11, 20, 21, 30, 31, 40, 41, 50, oh, not 50, no, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. I missed out 10, I was going to say, make a mess of it. 1, 10, 11, 20, 21, 30, 31, 40, 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different numbers. And that breaks the first clue. So I'm going to have to introduce another coin, a different coin, in order to be able to make more numbers. So I thought I'll put a 20 in, and that'll give me more options. And it does. It means that you can go 1, 10, 11, 20, 21, 30, 31, 40, but you can 41, but you can also get up to 50 and 51 now as well. And now there are 11 different amounts that you can make. So I'm nearly there. I'm thinking, what if we had a couple of 20s and a couple of 10s? That means now I can go all the way up to 61. Same list, but up to 61. I can go, I'm not going to write it out. 1, 10, 11, 21, 31, 40, 40, 41, 50, 51, 60, 61. And that would be 13 different values. Tick. The amounts all end in a 0 or 1. Tick. I can't make 70. I can't even make 70. I'm going to have money. Tick. And I can't make £1. There's not enough money. Tick. And I can make a prime number bigger than 10 with the coins. In fact, I can make a couple of them. 41 is prime. 41 is prime as well. So there we are. The correct answer, I think, is 1, 10, 10, 20, and 20. I don't know if that's the only possible answer, but it's the one that I got. I haven't looked or cheated or anything. I've just done it now, and I think that that is correct. Okay, so what about this one? Well, this one I think's a little bit easier to get into because you can just literally try different values. And I've got a bit of sun shining in my video. Let me move that a little bit across there like that. So let's try two whole numbers that, think of two whole numbers under 10. Okay, so I'll just make some up. 3 and 7. Take one of them, let's take the 3 and add 1, 4. Multiply that by 5 is 20. Add 1 again is 21. Double that is 42. Subtract 1 is 41. Add your second number, that's the 7, gets me to 48. Add 2 gets me to 50. Double again gets me to 100. Subtract 8 gets me to 92. And then half this number gets me to 46. And the person doing this said that when you get this number, you should immediately be able to see what these two numbers are. Okay, and at this point, I wasn't completely sure what that would be, what that pattern is that he's seeing there. So I thought, well, I better do another one. So let's try, I don't know, 24. 2 and 4 is the first two numbers. Okay, so we've got to take one of them. I'll take the bigger one this time. 4 and add 1. So I'm going to start with the 4 and add 1, which is 5. Multiply that by 5, 25. Add 1, 26. Double your answer, gets me to 52. Subtract 1 gets me to 51. Add your second number, that's the 2, gets me to 53. Add 2 gets me to 55. Double again gets me to 110. Subtract 8 gets me to 102. And then half of that gets me to 51. And then I spotted it. Well, I think it's right, but I need to check it with another example. 46. If you take the first digit and take 1 off it, you get one of the numbers. And if you take the second digit and add 1 to it, you get the other number. Got a bit of a sun. I'm going to move across. There we go. That's better. And it works on this one as well. So subtract 1 from that, you get the 4. Add 1 to that, you get the 2. We better check it works with one more example. So let's do some bigger numbers. Let's do a 9 and an 8. Let's see if we can break it with a 9 and an 8. Don't know if it's going to work with a 9 and an 8. So, following in the rules, we've got, think of it, two numbers. Choose one of them. Let's choose the 8 this time. Add 1, 9. Multiply by 5 gives me 45. Add 1 gives me 46. Double your answer gives me 92. Subtract 1 gives me 91. Add your second number. Well, I chose the 8, so I've got to add the 9 to that, which gets me to 100. Add 2, 102. Double again, 204. Subtract 8, oh, it's getting hairy now, would be 196. Half that number, which is going to be, oh God, my maths has gone, 98. It's going to be 98. Okay. And, oh, that's interesting, 98. Is it following the pattern correct? Yes, it is. Because remember, you take 1 off the first number, the 9, which gives you the 8, and you add 1 to the second number, the 8, which gives you the 9. So it works. Hope that made sense to you. Have a lovely weekend.